The video opens with a question that instantly feels unsettling. How does the name of one of the world's most famous supermodels keep showing up in so many controversial situations at the same time? This isn't just a random rumor or a one-off incident that faded away. The deeper you look, the more it starts to feel like a pattern. From exclusive parties to powerful connections and relationships that raise serious questions. This story goes far beyond coincidence, and with every new appearance, it feels like something is slowly being revealed, but the full picture is still missing. That's where the real question begins. Are these just random events, or is there something connecting all of this behind the scenes? As you dig deeper, it becomes clear this isn't just one isolated situation, it's a series of moments that all feel strangely similar. The name that keeps coming up is Naomi Campbell, and every time she's mentioned, it's alongside people with highly controversial backgrounds, from Sean Combs to Jeffrey Epstein and even Harvey Weinstein. The list is long enough to make anyone pause. What's strange isn't just the connections, it's how often her name appears in the same circles. It starts to raise a bigger question. Why does she keep showing up in the middle of these situations? At some point, repetition stops feeling like coincidence and starts looking like a pattern. When new documents tied to Jeffrey Epstein surfaced, Naomi's name appeared again, this time more directly. Reports mentioned travel records, connections, and locations that have already been surrounded by controversy. At the same time, she publicly denied having any knowledge of what was happening. But this is where things get complicated. When you compare those denials to the information being revealed, the situation becomes harder to ignore. Because every new detail raises the same question. Did she really have no idea? Or is there more to the story that hasn't been fully addressed? And that's where doubt starts to grow. Not just about this situation, but about everything connected to it. The story takes a different turn when Elsa Majimbo enters the picture. Because this isn't just speculation, it's a personal experience. At first, it seemed like a huge opportunity. Meeting someone so powerful could open doors most people never even get close to. But over time, things started to feel off. According to Elsa, there were attempts to introduce her to wealthy, older men in a way that didn't sit right with her. It felt less like mentorship and more like something else entirely. Once she decided to step away, things didn't just end quietly. Instead, her career began to shift, and not in a good way. That's where things get uncomfortable. Was it just a misunderstanding? Or was she seeing something she wasn't meant to be part of? Years before all of this, another story resurfaced, her connection to Charles Taylor. At first, there was a complete denial of receiving anything, as if the entire situation was made up. But when the case reached court, the narrative changed. She admitted to receiving stones, but described it as something unexpected and unclear. The problem is, other witnesses told a very different version of events. According to them, she knew exactly what she had received, and even showed interest in it at the time. Once again, the pattern feels familiar. Denial first, then a revised explanation later. And that's what makes people question everything, because when the story keeps shifting, it becomes harder to know what's actually true. One of the strangest elements in this story is the mention of a private island reportedly connected to her, designed in the shape of the Eye of Horus. On its own, that might just sound like a creative architectural choice, but historically, that symbol represents power, control, and reconstruction after destruction. Naturally, people began to read into it, especially considering everything else surrounding her name. There's no confirmed evidence of anything unusual happening there, but the symbolism alone was enough to spark speculation. And when you combine that with her past associations, even small details start to feel significant. The real question isn't just about the island itself, it's why all these elements seem to keep aligning in one place. Things become even more complicated when Allie Carter comes into the picture. She has been one of the most vocal individuals sharing claims about what happens behind closed doors. According to her, there are layers to this world that most people would never expect. Of course, these remain unverified claims and there's no official confirmation backing them. But what caught people's attention is how some of the things she mentioned seemed to line up with details that came out later. That's what divided opinions. Some believe she's exaggerating, while others think she might be revealing parts of a bigger truth. And that leaves viewers in a difficult position. What do you believe when the full evidence isn't available? At the end of it all, everything comes back to one question with no clear answer. Are all these situations just coincidences stacking up, or is there a pattern hiding in plain sight? From controversial connections to repeated denials to personal accounts from people who were part of that world, the picture remains incomplete, but full of signals. There may not be a single piece of definitive proof, but it's just as hard to ignore how often these elements overlap. And that's where the viewer is left to decide. Because in the end, it's not about one story, it's about the bigger picture. And the question that lingers after everything fades is simple. If it's all just coincidence, why does the same coincidence keep happening over and over again?